Let's queer up breaking news. Prism LGBTQ+ Youth Executive Director Maxx Fenning forcibly removed from Florida House hearing. Florida lawmakers sparked controversy yesterday by forcibly removing LGBTQ+ student leader Maxx Fenning from House chambers as he voiced support for a gun control law. Fenning, executive director for Prism and anchor at Queer News Tonight, spoke at a Florida House Judiciary Committee opposing a proposed rollback of gun buying rules post-Parkland shooting. With no advance notice of time from the committee chairman, lawmakers cut his microphone, and security then physically removed him from the room. During his brief allotted time to speak, Fenning detailed the events that prompted Florida's current gun laws. In 2018, then Governor Rick Scott signed a comprehensive gun reform and school safety package, increasing the minimum age to purchase assault rifles from 18 to 21. Now, the Florida House, with DeSantis as the governor, are entertaining the ideas of rolling back these age restrictions. As the final speaker on the bill, before it heads to the floor for consideration, Fenning recounted his experience during the tragic Parkland shooting. He vividly described how he witnessed the horror unfold through social media as a 19-year-old gunman unleashed terror at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, claiming 17 lives and injuring 17 others. Fenning, then a sophomore at Boca Raton Community High School, was a few minutes away from the shooting. Queer News Tonight's Al Ferguson spoke to Fenning shortly after the encounter. Fenning said, and I quote, "The chair never told speakers how much time they would have to speak. Toward the end of my testimony, he interrupted me and said, 'Thank you, sir.' Since he never said my time had expired or asked me to close, I continued speaking for an additional 30 seconds. After they cut my mic, one security guard approached me from either side, which prompted me to yell, 'If you're killing kids, you're gonna listen.' They grabbed my arms on either side and dragged me out of the room, dropping me off right outside the doors," end quote. There is a growing trend to trespass individuals at the Capitol, and Fenning said, quote, "We have seen increasing hostility against community members from Capitol security. This is evident in new rules implemented just over a year ago that significantly limit protests and demonstrations on Capitol grounds," end quote. Ferguson asked Fenning on how LGBTQ students and youth are viewing democracy in Florida and the United States. Fenning said, and I quote, "I think this is evidence of a growing discomfort among elected officials with having to listen to the people who give them a job. They prefer to make decisions that destroy people's lives in peace without pesky, good-for-nothing kids whining about being shot by an AR-15. Prism is an LGBTQ+ nonprofit led by and for LGBTQ+ students. Fenning is a senior at the University of Florida, living in South Florida.
Excuse me, Maxx Fenning. And that is the last appearance card that we have.
Hello, my name is Maxx Fenning, and I'm the founder and executive director of Prism, a youth-led LGBT nonprofit in South Florida. 5 years and 1 week ago, a 19-year-old entered a high school in Parkland, Florida, and opened fire, killing 17 people and injuring 17 others. And I watched that as a sophomore at Boca Raton Community High School, 20 minutes away, play out on Snapchat. I watched kids like me scream and yell out as gunfire rained in the background and felt the thuds of bodies like mine hit the floor. And that school year, and every school year after, we had at least one code red, and we calmly turned off the lights and rolled down the paper over the window and the door, and we hid under our desks and sat there, waiting patiently to find out if our faces would be the next ones memorialized next to a single candle and a tear-soaked bouquet of flowers. And so we yelled again, this time with purpose, as students across the state walked out of the schools they no longer felt safe in. And back then, 5 years ago, when the people in this building, some of whom are sponsoring this bill, listened to young people, you did the right thing and took the tools to commit atrocities against our youth and our communities at large from people like the one that took 17 lives on Valentine's Day in 2018. but a lot can happen in 5 years.
Thank
and
you, sir.
apparently enough has happened for you to forget
Sir,
about the
thank you.
marches, to forget about the hard lesson you
Thank
all
you, sir.
learned, to forget about the...
Sir, thank you, sir.
Somehow it didn't hit deep enough to stick.
Sir, I apologize.
The survival of young people, of queer people, of people of color should not be subject to the whims of your faltering memory or rapidly deteriorating conscience.
Wow.
Goodness, that's a powerful video to watch, and powerful words by Maxx Fenning, who is such a force. I mean, just so smart, and so grateful for his voice and the power that he has to kind of to be in community and to be in such a testament to what young people are feeling and thinking right now. So often just young people aren't heard and aren't told, and I love the way that he articulates all of that. But it's also just like, as he says, just like common sense legislation.
Right.
Like, I mean, there's nothing here is radical.
Right.
Like, I mean,
Fenning speaks so well, and for someone of his age, you know, and the fact that he's constantly in Tallahassee making a statement on behalf of so many others that can't speak out or don't speak out. You know, he's got a very supportive family, which gives him that power to be able to do these things unconditionally. But like the real story is really about the AR-15s. Like, why are we turning back? Why is it 3 years younger from 21 to 18? It's okay to have an AR-15. Why is it okay for anyone to have an assault rifle?
At all.
And that's really the story. The story is, why are we doing that? And why doesn't our government in this Tallahassee see that that's the issue? Who's pushing them and giving them that kind of money that they need to turn it? It's a non-issue. The bigger issue is to eliminate them past 21,
Right.
not to turn
Why-
it back to 18.
At all.
Like, just eliminate it.
Yeah.
So
Especially with it being an AR rifle, like, why does that even still allowed to be bought with the countless times that it's been used by people to assault and kill people?
right.
From high schools to clubs to events, like,
And Florida sees a disproportionate number of these mass shootings with schools, with the Pulse nightclub.
Yeah.
I mean, we are not like this is a rare one-off thing.
No.
We sort of lead in like, okay, you did it there, we're going to do it 2 more of them here.
Right.
It's crazy that this is even in a conversation that we have to debate.
Well
Yeah.
said. And thanks again to Maxx Fenning for speaking out when so many people either can't or are not doing so, but that is, you are seen and you're heard and you're supported.